We never get dead. Ever. Hey, Jake, tell me that one really appropriate joke real quick before we go live.
Which one?
The really, really wildly inappropriate one.
Don't listen to him. Jake, don't listen to him.
The
We're
one with the
live. Don't
grandmother.
listen to
Which
him.
one?
We're live. Don't listen to
The
him.
one with the grandmother.
Stop trying to fool him.
We're
Jake
live.
is innocent.
I'm sober now.
malleable.
You can't.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sober now, Dad.
Yeah.
I learned it from you.
Oh God.
Specifically this joke that I'm not repeating.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Jeremy,
man.
save us.
So, wow, we are here for just the most incredibly heartfelt holiday hell. We're just going to have a grand old time and be so incredibly appropriate, as we always are. It's just what we do.
Wildly appropriate.
Of course, And so, yeah, let's meet all these fine, upstanding people. I mean, starting off, the man behind Dr. Karloff. Jake, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your character?
I'm Jake with the Defenders of Cobalt. Hi. I was not present last time due to some influence by Jack Daniels. That influence is no longer present. I will be playing a Howleywood actor turned superhero / master of the mystic arts called Dr. Karloff. And that pretty much sums him up, really.
Awesome. And then we have the ever evasive knockoff, although there's been some debate over whether or not he should be called Shortcut.
Right. I've just been kind of sticking with that same set of powers because it's been pretty fun, to be honest. Just I'm not very useful in a fight, but pretty great at just manipulating where things are and what things look like.
Yeah.
Also, I'm Daniel.
Cool. Oh, and then here's one of my favorite people. Jen, are you playing Surgeon Spectre? Is that right?
I am. Reports would say that I am tonight playing Surgeon Spectre. So I'm playing a lovely little raccoon who loves to raise rabid creatures from the dead or summon them into existence. And she's got a medical degree. Works up Band-Aid. So
wonderful.
And kicking ass.
Yeah, and I'm Jen. I'm a Defender of Cobalt, and yeah, that's me.
Delightful. Oh, and then who's this beautiful bastard over in the bottom left? Tell us about yourself and who you're playing.
I'm Ravishing Rick
Smolder.
Rude. I'm sorry. I'm not Ravishing Rick Rude. My name is Friendon. I'm a Defender of Cobalt. I draw things on the internet, often on Twitch as well, often with Jen, who's my favorite person as well. Jeremy, do we need to fight? And I'll be playing tonight a zombie cat named Catastrophe, who has a spectral bat they summon and gets up to hijinks because that's what little kitties do with spectral bats, apparently.
Awesome. Love it. And then, of course, we've got the HBIC, our beautiful fuzzy bastard in the bottom middle here.
That's true. That's me. I'm Chuck. You're welcome for seeing my face. There you go. I am playing the Mysterious Stranger. And real quick, I do want to highlight, we had a great time before stream because Jake was telling us a story about the one time he accidentally shot his dog. So it was pretty entertaining. But yeah, that's me. You're on my channel. Congratulations, you fucks. And that's all I got to say.
All right. And you're going to be the Mysterious Stranger?
Yes, I am. I can shapeshift and stuff. And I'm really old and I didn't die.
There you go. That's all we
I just want
need.
to put out here that this go around, Chuck is the one who pulled a friend in and didn't mention their character.
I thought I did. Did I not? I don't know. I'm all over the place today.
That's true. But you did let us see your beautiful face.
That's it. You're fucking welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel blessed. I mean, honestly, that's my Christmas gift right there. That's all I ever wanted.
I just put a picture of Chuck's face on my door for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And on the box of Kleenexes.
Oh, so hey, Jeff, you beautiful
help.
bear of man. Save us.
Yeah, I'm playing Missing Link, Barry Grant. He is a circus performer who up until recently has had a kind of a split personality with some sort of legendary demonic warrior who has been kind of ushering us through hell. And I don't have powers currently, but I do have a big sledgehammer that I think Dan grabbed for me. So that's all I got left is the sledgehammer and my wits. That's it.
That's fine.
That'll be enough.
It's no big deal. You're just, in the Forsaken Keep in the bowels of hell. It's no big deal.
And despite not having powers, I'm still trolling the guy. Like, this guy could probably squash me pretty easily right now. But
yeah, I mean, to be fair, when you've got a direct link to Baphomet, you foul mouth him. It's what you do.
Yeah.
Gotta put him in his place.
He's kind of earned it. I'm sure he did something to earn it.
He's probably done one or two things that were slightly sketchy.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
This is karma.
Yeah, it's fine. So I think last we left off, Dr. Karloff, there's this the demon's favorite son, Cain.
Jack Daniels. Oh.
You know what? We'll call, you know what? This version of Cain is actually just Jack Daniels in a mask.
Ah, jeez.
So, yeah, you were attacked while the party was traversing the castle, and this mysterious figure, like, literally reached out of a painting, pulled you into it. And who's carrying the painting right now?
I think I was doing that to try to be useful. Yeah.
Okay. So as the party's traversing, you've been pulled into this weird, like, pocket dimension inside of the painting. And somebody said they wanted the painting to be dogs playing poker.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been pulled inside that painting, except when you're inside it, it's alive and real. There's actually dogs at a table playing poker. And you're in the middle of a slobber knocker with Cain, basically, behind these dogs. They're all incredibly pissed off at you for, like, interrupting their game.
That makes sense.
As we pick up this beginning of the session, like, you've been grabbed around the throat, picked up, and you're about to be choke slammed through the dog's card table. What do you do?
Oh, no. I try to teleport behind him so I can land an elbow drop to the neck.
Oh, that sounds classy. Let's give it a go.
All right. It's been a long time since I've played. Where is my teleportation? 80% chance. There we go.
Ooh.
4.
Oh, nice. And you did get a pip. You could either do some bonus damage or maybe give yourself some sort of situational bonus with that elbow drop.
With the situational bonus, I think I'd like to try to get him onto the ground.
Okay, you do, and you do. You actually, not only you teleport behind him, you get the elbow on his head, and he actually stumbles forward and he falls onto the table. So you didn't do a lot of damage, but he's prepped and he's on the table and he's stunned, giving you a chance for a follow-up. What do you do?
Let's see.
Bite him.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my teleportation again. Go up above him and try to come down with a chest first into him with a splash.
Okay, I like it.
8.
Awesome. And not only do you succeed at that, but you got 2 more successful pips. So you could either A, do bonus damage, or since you get 2 pips at the same time, you could use this as an opportunity, like, to disrupt his control over the situation. And as you do your splash, you see the ripples of the realm kind of soften a little bit. You see the veil get a little bit thinner. If you want, you can stay here and finish him off. And if you do finish him off, he might not chase the party around anymore. Or you could take this opportunity to get the F out of the painting right now.
I will say, Jake, typically when I finish a guy off, he is real ready to just lay down, relax, not chase me or my friends. So
Yeah.
Sometimes he shoots a pet.
It's a callback.
Oh my god. Wow. Wow. There's so few of you left that can turn to at this point.
There's none of us left. We're
So
all shooting pets over here.
Oh.
God.
If anyone doesn't get
Jeff
it,
is nodding his head. There's no safety.
if any
alone.
viewers out there
I'm
don't get
alone.
it, that is a euphemism for masturbation.
I'm alone.
In Chuck's mind only,
Funny.
which is an amazing dark place.
I explained it beforehand. They're all on board.
I don't
No.
I, like.
You know
I
what?
understand.
Shooting. There's a good idea. I'm gonna put Kane in the sharpshooter.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so you stick with them. You've done your splash. Now you put them in the sharpshooter. Give it a go.
All right. God, I don't know what that would count as. Probably anything else.
Yeah,
Gotta believe. Gotta believe.
I believe.
30
Oh
under
my
50.
god! Not only did you succeed, you got 3 pips. This is the finest sharpshooter that has ever been performed. Today, Dr. Karloff, you beat the man.
Excellent.
You
That means-
destroy this demon son.
That means he became the man.
Damn
Off is
right.
the man.
You see all the dogs who were initially annoyed by you interrupting their card game. They all kind of set down their cards, and you see the they start with the 80 slow clap, and they pick up as the little pocket realm starts to fade away, and you see them kind of do like a paws raised in the air for you. As
I'll
you-
raise my fist in the air for them and try to get the hell out of here.
And just like that, Barry, you were carrying the painting, and now all of a sudden, as you're staring across the swamp of death, you feel a sudden lurch of weight as you realize cradled in your arms is Dr. Karloff, who just has the biggest shit-eating grin on his face, I would imagine. You pulled off a teleport elbow, a teleport splash, and possibly the finest submission that the world has never seen.
Welcome back. And then
Thank
I'll
you.
set you down carefully. Is the painting gone?
Yeah, the painting's just gone as it happens because he destroyed the Demon Kane, or Jack Daniels. So it goes by many names, but the demon's
either
been
one.
defeated. So the good news is, Dr. Karloff, you're riding high on life. That felt amazing. The bad news is you realize you're not in the place that you were before. It feels like you've almost kind of like time traveled, you just where the hell am I now? Because you're now in like this horrible swamp with like boiling acidic water. You see things like that might be a crocodile over there. Is that a frog? That can't be a frog. That thing looks like it's 10 feet long, just barely coming up out of it. You have these horrible trees that look like they're more like a bunch of vines twisted together. They have like hollows in them that look almost like faces. They're staring at you. And then way off in the distance, you can see them in the middle of pointing out gibbets hanging from the trees that you think are where the prisoners are that you need to free to break the anchor in this realm that would let you get into Ariok's stronghold.
Are we in Louisiana?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Can't rule it out.
So yeah, you guys, you can see where the souls of your dimension are that you need to free to break the anchor here. But unfortunately, Shortcut's teleportation isn't working this time around. And Surgeon Spectre did summon a very adorable little possum with a piece of driftwood, but that driftwood's not going to be enough to carry the party over. Like maybe Surgeon Spectre could get on the driftwood with the possum, but the rest of you, it's going to be a tough go getting over there.
I turn into an elephant.
Okay.
Because elephants can fucking swim.
Okay.
They can fuck and swim at
They
the
can
same
do both.
time?
They can
It's
shoot their
real
dog
weird.
and swim
Like
at the
some
same time.
creatures in the
Don't
animal
question him. He'll do
kingdom,
it.
their noses and their bits look the same, and elephants are one of those. So I climb into the water and tell everyone else to get on my back.
No,
so I
wait.
can
Don't
ferry-
give us a truncated description of that scenario. I eerily got the gist of it, but you tailed off at the end there.
Did I tell you? I can't. Well, that's off topic. Anyway, I climb into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you people, hop on my back. I'll swim us across.
So the good news is I'm not even going to make you roll for the power use. I'm going to let you
Good.
turn it into an elephant and hop into the acid water.
Oh no, it's acid water.
Yeah, it's bubbling acid.
I regret this.
Feel free to climb on and
It's so hot. Who turned the temp up this high?
I'm really sorry. Also, I'm not going to like, you don't fully submerge yourself. You kind of do the thing where you like, you start to hop in and you get a foot in. And then like, oh God, yeah, I rolled a D12 and rolled a 12.
Oh no.
So like you go in trunk deep, right? And just, you're talking about like, the bits and the trunk and you just kind of like, yes, you get inclusively burned. But yeah, like your elephant form's trunk just gets melted off.
Oh no.
Well, that sucks. I turned back into me.
Sorry. But
well,
not really.
obviously, before I transform into an animal and jump into a body of water, you all should pay more attention to what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't going to stop you. That was just wonderful.
So we got to get across the river.
Yeah, it's just, it looks nasty. And you're pretty sure that even like beyond just the fact that this is acidic, boiling, gross stuff, there's things in it. And those trees also don't look very good.
When you say the trees don't look very good, what do you mean exactly?
I mean, so I'm trying to think of a better way to describe it. They don't look like so much a solid tree that you're used to. Think of like a lot of vines that have kind of like coiled around each other. I've seen them sometimes on some, I don't know the name of the tree, but they look almost like a willow type tree where it's like a lot of cords that have all been twisted around each other.
Mm-hmm.
All their roots are going into this acid and they're this like pale, sickly gray, verging on yellow in some places. They look very unhealthy. And the hollows in the trees seem to just vaguely shift a little bit as if they're looking at you.
They're animated? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send my bat up to scout if that's cool to get a look.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Hey, buddy, what do you say you go above the tree line? I'm a bat! And he's gonna roll.
Yeah.
He succeeds.
All right. He does, and he gets 2 pips of successes, like for the bonus dice. So he does an extremely good job. He comes back and with several iterations of I'm a bat and kind of body language, and just your link with him, you tend to kind of know what he's trying to communicate to you. You've got up ahead, he's able to see that there's almost like a pentagram formation of where each of these gibbets is located in the tree line. And he was able to see that there's some sort of weird chaotic mechanism between them to where if you like take people out of one, it's going to mess with the balance. It potentially make others dip into the acid water. Just it looks like kind of a dick move by whoever set this up. Somebody who just really wanted to punish you for trying to free people. And then with the 2 pips of successes, he's able to say he actually saw like a 6th one that was up and above, like above where he was flying initially, but he saw that there was some other prisoner that seemed to have been held in a more specialized prison.
And he relays that to the party by saying I'm a bat several times in different intonations. We can all kind of infer,
Yeah, everybody else, I mean, you all get it.
We speak Wookiee.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, it's there's not really any easy way to get there.
No convenient bridges or anything.
Unfortunately, you can look around it kind of like in a swamp. Like sometimes you can look around for like little patches of safe places to walk, but pretty much almost every segment of movement, so to speak, would require like checking out where you're going, because at any point you could step on something that you think is solid, and all of a sudden you'll be ankle deep or more into this corrosive sludge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this would have been the best time ever for shortcut stuff to work.
It sure would have been, but it didn't. So,
but you're not the only person who can teleport.
Indeed.
Or you use portals more than you teleport.
Well, yeah, I use portal. I can't teleport specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I could try to teleport to a safe spot and see if there's some way to, I don't know, bridge the gap, so to speak.
Yeah, can't hurt. You can maybe you could scout ahead for people.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Alrighty. 22 under 80 for teleport.
You do, and actually, you got lucky, and you got 2 pips on boon dice as well. So what I'll do is I'll mark that towards 1 point off the complication you guys are going for. You haven't directly freed anybody yet, but as you kind of bamf around, you make it to 2 out of the 3 trees where there are gibbets hanging from, and your reconnaissance help you figure out a pretty good path to follow. It's not foolproof, but you've gotten a good bit of the first step towards figuring out how to take care of this.
Good.
Jeremy, you said there was one like really high up, right?
Yes.
Is there anything around here, like walls or something like that, that might lead? Like, I'm just wondering, like, what is it hanging from, like, when it's really high up?
It's a good question. It seems to almost be your back communicated. It seemed to be in its own like special prison that was just kind of floating up in the air.
Some sort of BS that only hell can pull off.
But he said it was really bright, but really cold.
Was there was like the prison that is in, like, was it like an energy type prison, or like was it inside it, like was there like something physically noticeable?
From the bat's perspective, it was higher than he got, so he could clearly see the stuff below him, but up above what he saw, like he could make out it was some sort of, he knows it was different than the other prisons. So yeah, it's probably fair to say it seems like some sort of energy thing more than a physical prison. Like it looks like the people, somebody was a jerk and just decided to make some sort of weird device to kind of screw with you for trying to free them. Whoever that person is seems to be in some sort of like personal VIP cell, so to speak.
So looks here that's an energy it's trying to keep us out. But what about Surgeon Spectre's spectral summons and my spectral summon? How do these things interact with beings of energy? Might be worth pursuing.
It's true.
You said my little possum's on a raft.
Mm-hmm.
Is
got a cute little piece of driftwood.
What's happening to the raft?
The raft seems, it looks to be made, the driftwood looks to be of similar like ugly discoloration as the trees that you see out there, and it's not dissolving.
Interesting.
So if we were to find a tree we might be able to fashion a boat out of the tree.
That's true. That's not a bad guess.
Okay.
Good.
So
Yeah.
good.
No, you good.
I was just going to say, are there any trees nearby that we can reach?
Yeah, I would give you that there's at least one you can get to pretty easily with Jake's reconnaissance he did earlier.
Okay. I'm probably just going to hop on the driftwood with my possum, and we're going to use 2 little tiny rodents.
Okay.
Paddling with driftwood.
That's
I'm gonna hop on my bat's back and kind of fly above them a little bit, above the water, and kind of.
I like it. You do and you do. So if the party wants to go over to one of these trees and get over to it, you're more than welcome to it. It's not one of the ones where the gibbets and stuff are a decent ways away, but you can get to one of the ones that's kind of more on the perimeter. Again, kind of like the hollows, kind of the weird chords kind of seem to shift and twist, and the hollows of the face kind of turn and look at you a little bit as you do.
Ew.
The branches kind of seem to slowly arch and lean in your direction as you get closer.
I think they want to touch us.
How romantic.
Actually, I shouldn't be surprised. Of course, Chuck would think that's romantic. These trees want to shoot you, Chuck.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
What?
So, oh no. I get that now. It's another callback.
I don't blame me.
The trees are happy to see you.
Yeah. This is the happening to
They have wood?
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh
No.
no.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so yeah, you guys have made your way over to one, getting a little bit of creepy vibes from it, but the mysterious stranger seems into it.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to try and, were you planning to try and chop this tree down, or how you want to go about it?
I got a hammer, so I can start smashing, but I
Yeah,
can't.
I have literally nothing to do to a tree, so
I can turn into a rhino or a triceratops and just charge it over.
Yeah, sure. Let's say we've done an action with we'll hop with Jeff. So Barry comes up, you've got the hammer. We're gonna treat it like a signature weapon at 70%.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. That's pass 44.
And you do. And you knock a huge chunk of this thing's trunk off because it seems to just kind of crumple and give in, and a huge portion of it just gives way and it starts falling over. These things don't so much have an initiative of their own, but they do react when stuff happens to them. So it does fall over as you smash into it, and you just see as the tree falls, like a couple of the branches reach out and kind of try and wrap themselves around you, and that face gets as close as it can, and the hollow just kind of opens, and there's a slight bit of light in it, and it just kind of goes, and you feel the life's essence being pulled out of your lungs and sucked into the tree as you take 35 magical damage.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
ouchies.
Okay. Is it still upright if I'm smashing it? Like part of it fell?
It's really close to done.
Okay.
It looks like all but a little bit of it. It's like that thing, like if you've ever chopped a tree and you get to where like there's just that last little bit, and you're pretty sure if you just put one more good smack in,
It'll fall over and land on my neighbor's cargo container.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rein up my bat and say charge, and fly the bat directly into the opposite side of the tree to try to knock it in that direction.
Okay, that sounds delightful.
I super do not do that.
Okay. It does respond. Oh no, but you didn't actually make contact with it, so no.
Okay, good. I'm glad it leafed me alone.
But yeah, you can see that these things don't seem to like proactively do anything, but they do seem to punish you for. So as your bat goes charging in, it kind of seems to ready itself, but in a mixed blessing, when the bat misses, it doesn't get an opportunity to do anything.
Gotcha.
So were we having a rhino charge as well?
Is the tree still up?
It is, just
Then
barely.
Fucking rhino charged the shit out of it.
Hell yeah, man.
I fail.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Fail. I just fail. Like I turn into like a little pygmy rhino, and like my horn gets stuck in it, and like the tree comes out and like kisses me on the cheek gently. It's just real uncomfortable.
Is it though? Or maybe you're into it. I don't know.
Listen, to keep everyone else from feeling uncomfortable, I'll at least pretend like I'm discomforted by it.
Oh.
Oh no, don't do that.
Oh no, don't. Stop. Don't
All right.
stop.
No,
Okay.
not over here too.
For knockoff to tell this tree to knock off, I guess.
Yes. Save us.
Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a hero point, so that's a success.
Okay. You do and you do. Unfortunately, your action goes off before it can react, and your action, if you do that, is more than enough.
Yeah.
Takes that. Were you basically using your brawling or
Brawl with someone, which is an 80.
so yeah, you just come on over and normally most people might not picture knockoff as kind of a burly bruiser type, but you come over and just do some sort of like it was like some big old running kick or something or
Yeah, I assume it's like a Bruce Lee ripoff here. Flying karate kick.
It's pretty
Yes.
impressive. Like that's an 81 point of damage kick. It's amazing. And yeah, as you do, the hell tree, the core of it just kind of crumples in on itself, but there's still the outer bits of it. But you can see the inside of it is just horrid and rotten. And there's a smell it's almost like probably some of you are familiar with, the smell of rotten flesh. I'm going to argue very familiar.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the smell that comes from the inside of it. So it crumples easily, but you still have the outer bits of it that could be used to.
Trees made out of people. People.
Maybe.
I can't do it.
This place is fine.
Voice. I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. So yeah, you've got more chunks of this weird hell tree driftwood to do as you please.
Do we have enough to get everybody onto a boat, so to speak?
Maybe not enough for everybody, but some of you can fly or use abilities to fly. But yeah, if somebody could put something together, you can make it work. Who feels like they might have something? Who feels like they have something in their background that'll let them know how to make a boat?
I can do that. I have 65% designed something.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh,
that's
nice.
great.
Yeah.
It's better than my 50% anything else.
I failed
Do you have
by
any hero?
2
God.
points. I do have a hero point. Do we get our hero points recycle every session, right?
Yes.
It's scenes usually, but like
Yeah.
but I think it's different in Hell. Like it's been different with Hell.
So what I would do is if you do spend a hero point now before you hit the next scene, so to speak, normally it refreshes in every encounter. If
Okay.
you want to spend one in something that happens before an encounter, what I would say is when you start the next encounter, you'll be down 1.
Okay, then I will spend a hero point to do whatever it is that does.
So yeah, it adds 10%
Cool.
to your base chance. So you go from having a 65 chance to 75,
Then I
and you
pass.
just barely like you're sitting there messing with it, and you are about to fail horribly, and then at the last second you catch yourself. You're like, oh, that was gonna sink and kill everybody. Look around, make sure nobody saw your horrible mistake. You fix it. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Like it only leaks a little bit of acid sludge up through it. Like it's not going to be a comfortable ride.
Just a bit.
Yeah, but you'll be okay.
It'll keep our seats warm.
You'll you'll keep your seat warm. You might experience a slight burning, but is that really anything new?
Just call our doctor in the morning if it persists.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, so you do and you do. You now have your driftwood carriage what do they call those like little push boats that you use on the rivers? I guess.
A gondola?
Yeah, you've got your driftwood gondola that you start making your way across. And as you get to the spot where the giblets are hanging, you do see that there's a little bit more activity in the waters around there, and there are a couple more of those. There are these huge, like almost 10-foot long toad type creatures, except their skin is kind of off and like really thick warded.
Would this be an opportunity where I would watch for trouble, perhaps?
Yeah.
Nice.
There we go. 40 under 90.
Yeah, you can actually totally make out that these things are watching you.
And I'm like, back at them.
As he does that, I'm gonna try to fly my bat kind of off to the side and sneak around. Just I want to kind of be not as present in case anything pops off, basically.
Sure.
I do's it.
All right, you do and you do. You've easily got the drop on them. These things, they don't seem to actively be coming towards you. And with you've kind of observed them for a spell knockoff. You get the feeling that these things, they don't read incredibly bright, but they kind of like it seems like they're familiar with their territory, and they just kind of position themselves near the gondola, like they're just looking up as if they're waiting for something to fall down.
Yeah. They're there for the easy meal ticket.
Yep. Yeah,
Not gonna put any work in.
You guys are there. These things don't look like they're proactively trying to attack you, the toad things, but they do look like opportunist style creatures. You know that the trees will basically counterattack you if you do something to them. But you also know that there's some weird device that's set up to cause these things to, if you free one set of prisoners, cause another one to dip into the acid. So we've got 3 more ticks for the complication on that device. Fortunately, Dr. Karloff has already ticked off one of those boxes for the complication due to bamfing around and we're doing some reconnaissance, which actually you should get a hero point for.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
So yeah, I'll kick it out there to however you guys want to deal with that.
Something.
Like,
like a seesaw? Is that basically what it is? Like
kind of.
Goes, yeah.
Like with weird sort of like if there was a chaos realm bit of mad science gadgetry to go with it, like little pulleys but for the most part, it's not an overly complex device. It's meant to be kind of obvious and garish.
And so right now, someone's like above the acid.
And yeah, so there's 5 gibbets full of people from your dimension, just 5 regular people from your world, each in a different gibbet. And then somewhere up above, there was some sort of different style of cell.
And there's separate like little machines for each of them, or is it like one machine that's just?
It's one between all of them, but it looks like most of them will have something.
Okay.
So it's not like we can let them go one at a time.
We like
if you let go of, you're pretty sure if you let go of just one at a time, you're going to risk. It probably won't be an immediate drop into acid, but you're pretty sure you will trigger something that will start causing the balance to go off and dipping someone on another part of the pentagram into the acid.
And is that like another of the other cells or the people from our plane cells?
So all 5 of the cells in the pentagram are people from your world. Whatever's going on with the one that was up higher in the sky that wasn't attached to anything, that one seems separate. And that one was only noticed because like your bat wasn't even looking up above, but he just kind of sensed something. But because he got those 2 bonus pips, he was aware of it.
Maybe the energy and him being a being of energy, maybe there was some sort of feeling. Sure.
He was hooked on a feeling.
I could maybe try and use clairvoyance to spy into it, maybe.
You know what? You're aware of it. So yeah,
if we want to know what's in it. That'll work. Let me see if there's anything useful to do if I spend more points on it real quick here. Maneuver, nothing really. Okay. So
all right.
We'll see what's in.
So you're gonna get your success. You get a success on your check, and also just to let you know, you got a pip on one of the boon dice, so you can potentially, through your use of the power, you might be able to give some insight to somebody else on their next skill check. But as you look in there, you can see that it's some sort of like, instead of like metal bars being held. It's actually chaos made manifest. It's kind of been wrought around. You see a very dirty old man, withered with a long, yes, Chuck.
What? Yes.
But Chuck, if he was like a good 30 or 40 years older with a long white beard, just horribly disheveled and cut and bloodied crimson garb with like white trimming around it, black leather boots. Looks like it used to be a corpulent, but very gaunt and sallow eyes.
See, would you say he's a sad sack?
Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
Yes, I'm gonna shoehorn it in because why the hell not?
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Yeah, you see that this Lord of Hell has made a very special prison for a very special prisoner that he's been leeching the life force from. Santa looks like he's in a bad way.
Yeah, how can we not save Santa?
I don't know.
And Santa's in the same kind of scenario where either he lives and someone else dies, kind of thing.
No, his was in a cell that wasn't intended to be seen. It looks like the Demon Lord specifically set up all the people from your world. He set up a very obvious trap just to mess with you. The other cell wasn't really meant to be seen. Your bat just rolled really well and got 2 bonus pips.
Okay. And you clairvoyanced it then, Dan. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and that's how we're able to confirm what it's about, at least.
And then on top of that, as you're kind of doing your special eagle's eye view through clairvoyance, you get a better view of the mechanism. And so the next person to try and do something can get bonus dice towards what
there we go. That's all I got.
All right. Do we want to do what did you call that? Popcorn initiative, where somebody nominates the next person?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Dan, who do you nominate?
Maybe we'll do Dr. Karloff, since he's got some time spacey manipulation things as well.
Oh, that's a good point.
And maybe we can leverage that to like operate the traps and not have things go off.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, so how many levers did you say are in this? Just one that controls all of them?
Yeah, it is one mechanism going between 5 different gibbets. Each of them are at a different tree in sort of like a pentagram formation.
Well, I'm going to try to hit the one that's on the, I guess you could say north by northwest of the pentagram.
Nice.
And try to lower that one. And then keep an eye on the others to see what happens. And in so doing, I'm preparing to cast time manipulation to slow any potential mishaps.
That sounds like a great idea. And Dan's paying forward a couple of bonus dice to you.
47 under 60.
That is a success. So not only do you get a success on your die, you get 2 bips on your boon dice. You're actually able to take out 2 more of the 3 remaining complication checks. So you've got all but the very last bit of this device figured out. And you've got just one, the last one that you couldn't quite stop, that it's currently on a course going down. It's not in the water yet, but it is going there. And you have 1 pip left over that you can pass forward to the next person to give them bonus dice.
Absolutely, I'll do exactly that. I don't know that Missing Link is missing his abilities, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the next turn on to him.
Nice.
All right, so can I find a way to like hop on a couple things, just kind of leap and try to grab whatever is coming down?
Because of course, you're a carny. That's what you do.
It actually is what I do. It's either that or juggling, but I don't think juggling applies here. So, so yeah, I'm just gonna try to like hop from whatever, like one spot to another spot to another spot, whatever I see that could remotely not, burn me. And then I want to like just try to jump up and catch this thing before it falls into the
Okay.
acid.
That sounds good.
All right, so climb, jump, or tumble is what I'm using, and it's an 80%. That's good. 41.
That's amazing. And with you guys are all doing your bonus dice being passed forward are helping you out a lot. Because with the extra boon you get on that, both of you have been able to avoid being attacked by the trees as you're doing this. You see a couple times that they are trying to grab out at you. You know, maybe you focus enough to kind of focus on jumping from bit to bit on the contraption more so than leaning on the tree itself.
Mm-hmm.
But you do at the last second kind of leap on over, grab the person, hop back onto safe land, just a couple feet away from like one of those giant toads that kind of turns around and it's looking at you. And it looks like it's just kind of pensive and considering. But it's not acting just yet.
Okay. So is the person that I just grabbed, does they look injured or harmed in any way? Are they conscious or anything?
They look extremely gaunt and withered. They're still alive, but they look just drained horribly.
And do we see anything falling from the sky if I look up?
No.
Okay. All right.
Like you've got to see, like you used your ability to see up there with clairvoyance, but like nobody's had a chance to do anything to try and.
Okay.
You can see that it's like bonds of just pure chaos wrought into a cage of sorts.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to like muck with it yet.
Yeah, I'll nominate Catastrophe then, since I know that the bat can fly at least and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, it makes sense because Jeff, you have always been the wind beneath my wings, and on that notion,
you've always been my hero, so it kind of works.
Fly. And so I'm gonna pull the reins back on my bat, and I'm gonna glide up towards this chaos construct in the sky, and the bat and I are gonna go hell for leather and see what the fuck is going on up there.
Okay. Are you gonna have the bat just try and like see if he can just wrench the bars free?
So what I'm thinking is, we're both relatively small creatures. Either the bat is gonna maybe dump me through the bars, hopefully, or battering ram it. So one of the two is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
hoping.
There's a little bit of chaos involved in attempting this, but that's okay.
All right. I'm going to use my non-human form ability, which I can use twice per encounter, to add 2 challenge dice to that, because I'm a weird shape and size and maybe a little tricky. So I'm adding 2 challenge dice by checking that box. To any rolls you do to oppose me, it sounds like you're about to.
Well, no, I'm not opposing you. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm rolling chaos dice because you're battering into a literal cage of chaos.
Gotcha. No, that makes total sense. Then I am not checking that box.
Yeah. No, I'll be nice and like. There's no need for you to waste that ability.
Okay.
So you do succeed. Both you and your. Okay, I'll let you choose. One of you is going to take 20 damage from the impact with the chaos bars.
It's going to be the bat, because bat is just reckless, Jeremy. But I'm going to spend 1 hero point to reduce that by 30 as a tank. So my bat just kind of, it's a tough mutter right now.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you do. Your bat rams into it, and kind of as it's doing so, it's just kind of wrenching the bars just wide enough that you can hop on in. And you just kind of like start doing the whole thing where you're like kneading at this poor old bastard.
Okay, well then the squirrel, which Jen has just kindly reminded me that I have, is going to take over flying the bat for me as Catastrophe is in the cell.
Okay, awesome.
Rescue Rangers.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so you've checked off. You've got somebody in there. You haven't. He's out. And the cage isn't destroyed just yet, but you've definitely you've found a way in. Who would you nominate to help follow up on this?
I kind of feel like, let's see, we've had Jake and Jeff go, right?
Mhm.
I kind of feel like Chuck has some fun shape manipulation powers that might be able to get him up to that cage. So I'm gonna go with Chuck next.
All right, I dig it.
So, yeah. I was very impressed by the missing Link's acrobatic skills to get up there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and shapeshift into...
Another missing link.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was going to go with the chimpanzee, but fuck, I'm turning into the missing Link.
If you turn into him, you found him. You're the found Link.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
he's missing, I'm found, and I foundling Link my ass clear up there to assist in this cage recovery as well.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Wow. Now, I know that technically there's not actual crit successes or crit failures in the system, but I like to hold to the belief that if you roll a nat 1 or a nat 100, there should be something for that. Describe to me what amazing bullshit do you pull off as the found Link that lets you free Santa Claus from his prison? How epic did you do this?
So there's lots of like triple gainers and double half quadruple gainers.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, like I leap up there to Santa's cage and be like, hey, you found me. Found Link. But I'm sorry, I ain't got shit. But then I grab him by his beard. And I grab him by that big belt buckle on the front of his suit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just potato sack toss him out to freedom. You're free,
Potato sack
Santa.
to freedom.
Potato sack to freedom.
Hell yeah.
Like, hey man, like I got you and stuff, man. Like, no chimneys on this bitch. And I toss him out.
He just barely starts coming to consciousness as you do that, and he's confused and he sees you, and you know Barry's probably kind of an intimidating looking guy, and like your version of it is probably holy shit! You just potato stick him out of it, and he's just dropping from the sky down into this hellish swamp. You see like one of the toads like trying to line up to get underneath Santa, and it's like opening its mouth. Who do you nominate to try and save Santa from falling into a toad's mouth?
Who hasn't gone yet? Is
It's
it just
only Surgeon Spectre.
Surgeon Spectre's got this.
Surgeon Spectre.
It's no pressure. No pressure.
Surgeon
But if you
Spectre.
don't do something, one of those giant toads is gonna eat Santa as he falls to the ground.
So there's a core problem with all of this, and that's that I'm on like the other side of the shore at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
I toss him real far.
exactly.
You toss him real far.
It was a nat 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it could have been quite the yeeting.
It was an epic yeet.
Super yeet.
Okay.
It was
My
a
clairvoyance,
Yuletide
I'm like,
It was a
Surgeon
holly yeet.
Okay. I'm gonna try and
Yeet tide.
try and necromance a
Spectre.
creature
Greetings.
to help.
Uh-huh.
We'll see what happens here. I'm looking under 80.
Okay.
Okay, so I got a 48. I'm pulling out my rabies table.
Okay.
It's titled rabies table. It has rabies table.
I love that you have a rabies table. And I don't think there's anything that makes me happier than to think that some wretched, undead, rabid creature is going to save Santa from
So
a giant hell toad.
it's a 3. So I don't think I don't know if this creature is going to save Santa. It's a ferret. So
Remember, they've all been nutty, crazy strong.
I would say like the thing that the ferret does is like,
Uh-huh.
so the hell toad's about to swallow him, right?
Yeah, it's just sitting there. It's not very bright. It looks just something like,
The ferret's going to jump into its mouth and attack its mouth.
that's awesome. I love it.
Okay, we'll see if this happens. So it succeeds because it's a 50. The ferret jumps in to the toad's mouth and starts to attack, hopefully to make the toad close its mouth.
It does. And in fact, with 22 points of damage, this ridiculous scene starts to play out where you just see the toad like shaking its head around, and your ferret has just wrapped itself around this horrid tongue that has like these weird barbs at the end of it that look like they could just rake the flesh right off your bones. But your ferret fearlessly, rabidly jumps into its mouth, grabs onto its tongue, and the toad's trying to jump around. It's whipping its tongue this way and that, and your ferret just
Yeah. This all checks out because the tongue looks a lot like a snake, and ferrets are meant
they're
to.
sneakers.
Yeah, they go after snakes, so it's perfect.
And your ferret just does so much damage to that toad that the toad just F's off. He doesn't want any more of this. But does your ferret let go, or does it stay in there for the kill?
I think it stays in there for the kill.
So, there's just a little bit of a salute and maybe a little bit of
Single tear.
little tear as the ferret sinks into the acid muck. But in your heart, even though that ferret's going to boil away to join that horrid sludge, you're pretty sure it killed that toad before it burned away.
Awesome. I feel good about that.
Meanwhile, this gaunt man in his red robes, his red suit, sits up just wide-eyed staring at that. Oh, 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 no. Oh, no. I don't want to be here.
Hey, man.
Who are you people?
We're on the nice list, man. Like, you're welcome.
Are you even the real Santa? You should know exactly who we are.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
I'm a doctor. I went to medical school.
Listen, you son of a bitch.
The
Why did I get a
bad.
brick for Christmas when I was 4 years old? You got a lot of explaining to do here, Santa.
Oh, I'm sorry. They've taken my eyes and my ears a few times now. I just grew them back. I'm so sorry. Oh. Well, now that I'm free of that, I'm pretty sure I don't have a lot left of me, but you're right. I'm really sorry. I should wait a minute. I do know you. And so first he'll turn to the mysterious stranger.
Yeah, man. Like, we've dated before, man.
Oh, you have a wicked tongue.
Yeah, man.
Mrs. Claus won't allow you to the pole anymore.
Man, like, going for the milk duds, man. Like, don't blame me.
No. I appreciate your gusto. Well, if you like, I don't have much left. I'm pretty spent, but you can reach into my sack one more time.
You got it, man. And I'll enthusiastically reach for Santa's sack.
And so you can reach in and pull out a mystery gift of your choice. Basically, you'll have a gift from Santa that can be used at a later time. No, for what it's worth, I'm about to peace off and get the hell out of here. I can't risk getting trapped again. But just so you know, that Ariok, he can dispel your powers, but he can't dispel this. Hold on to it.
All right, man.
And basically what you've got in your hands is, at a later time, you can open this gift as an action, describe what amazing thing Santa gave to you that was extremely perfect, and you can either completely heal yourself, you can use it as the equivalent of a gadget to give yourself whatever toy he gave you is somehow a power that you can use, or you can use it to somehow have it be something that lets you do the help action for free for the rest of an encounter.
Okay.
So yeah. And then he'll turn to knock off. All right.
Get out of here.
No. No, there's no call for you, but I think I've got just a little bit of something for you. And so yeah, he. Actually, I think it would be more fun. What do you think? So I'll hop back to Mysterious Stranger. Mysterious Stranger, what do you think the ideal gift that you get from Santa is? Like, what do you draw out when you pull out his gift?
A gun.
So yeah, you reach into Santa's sack and you pull out a gun, and it's a beauty.
It's a beaut.
It is. It's the prettiest gun you've ever seen.
He can
It's even like
dispel your magic, but he can't dispel a fucking gun.
and it's one of those things where it's actually colored in Christmas colors. So it's like a green metal sheen with like a red trigger and like some like white stripe pattern at some point.
You've heard of Elf on a Shelf? How about Danger on this Stranger?
So yeah, you now have a Christmas gun for one encounter.
That's beautiful.
My goodness.
Beautiful.
Dan, what do you think? What sort of gift would knock off or shortcut draw from Santa's sack?
Oh my gosh. I feel like it has to be something stupid and related to my already manipulative BS.
Okay.
I feel like it's got to be like because I've watched it recently, like a portal gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like a more successful portal trick.
Nice. So yeah, you pull out a portal gun. You absolutely do.
Just pop, pop, pop.
Except the portals are like green and red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched someone play Portal 2 again recently, and it's just like such a good game.
It is pretty fun. Ooh, 2 guns. Oh, the kids these days. Okay. How about that cute little raccoon over there?
I would likely reach into Santa's bag and pull out a smaller bag.
Mm-hmm.
And when I open up the bag and pull out the things in the smaller bag, it's used Band-Aids, but I can administer them to my party members and heal them. So I don't know how many you think is fair, but I would likely pull something like that out.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the uses that you had the option that you could basically fully heal somebody. And since you are a doctor, normally it's meant to be for yourself, but I would totally say you can you have 100 hit points worth of healing in your bag.
Cool.
You have
Awesome.
100 points worth of Band-Aids. You divvy them out as you see fit.
Okay.
100 used Band-Aids.
Yes, you have 100
Band-Aids.
used Band-Aids. All perfectly pre-chewed and covered in spit.
And hair.
Just enough of that weird phlegm or throat 30 nonsense that none did. Yeah. That's great.
Okay. I like that.
All right.
I feel like
And
I
then-
gotta go get my portal gun out of the living room. I actually have one.
Nice.
From there, he turns from you and he kind of nods approvingly at your giant bundle of used Band-Aids. And you see him kind of giving some chin chuckles to Catastrophe and also scratching behind the bat's ears. I'm really glad that you saw me up there. What do you need?
Oh, I know exactly what Bat's getting. I've been wanting to get him one for ages. And I pull into this sack and I pull out a vocal enhancer for the Bat, which is a collar that I put around the Bat's neck. And the Bat immediately offers, "Oh, thank God. Everybody can understand me now. I've been trying to tell people shit for ages. And like half the time you think I'm just saying I'm a bat. And this one time," and then Catastrophe immediately takes the collar off.
Please throw it in the acid.
You can take another one if you want.
I
Not
don't know if you were watching Jeff's face as you did that. Were you watching
I
him?
was too busy acting it out.
You two were side by side on my Zoom, and like he was so happy as you were describing that.
Yes, beautiful. It was very fun. I really appreciate that.
So Catastrophe's gonna say, "Buddy, this is for you. I have a gift for me that's in here too." And what he pulls out is a tiny saddle and rein system to put on Bat to make Bat more accurate. Is that fair?
Oh yeah, it's gonna have like little. It's gonna have some jingle bells on it.
Oh, obviously, and a little red nose that glows.
Naturally, yes. Oh my god, that makes me so happy. All right, and now we're getting towards the end of it. All right, next up, Dr. Karloff. What do you pull from Santa's sack?
A hat. And I'll look into and I'll be like, well, that's a nice hat. And I'll look into the hat, and then I'll peer a little bit closer, and then I'll say,
Have you been sorted into Gryffindor?
no, it's just going to have like a rabbit in the hat.
What style hat is it?
Well, like a top hat.
Did you just say a rabbit in a hat?
No, thank God.
Oh.
I honestly, Jake, I was really
just
hoping
now.
you were going to say a season 2 DVD box set of Sex in the City, because I could just see your character being all about that.
Karloff is such a Miranda, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Actually, just
You're better
a
off.
Blu-ray copy of Big Trouble in Little China.
That's
know what that
wonderful.
means.
Oh no, I know what he'll get instead of he'll get an entire collector's Betamax tape set of all of his dad's movies.
Ooh,
Aw,
sentimental
that's
and shit.
wonderful.
And then he throws it in the acid lake.
Fuck you, Dad.
I don't want
I
to be
don't
reminded
want
of this
your life.
corporate slave holding. Ah!
Oh, isn't that sweet? And then, oh, 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 oh no, oh no, Barry,
How close is he to the edge by the acid?
pretty close.
Okay.
Is it hammer time?
Okay. Never got anything good for Christmas. Don't see why I should start now. It's fine.
He reaches out. He kind of puts his hand on your shoulder for a second. Barry, I'm sorry. I know you tried really hard to be a good boy, but your family made you a vessel for pure evil, and it kind of messed with the dynamics of things.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I'm not able to use the sack's magic for you, but I want you to know that even though you've willingly given yourself over to evil, you always have the chance to make a choice. And the best I can do is to give you the jacket off my back, and he'll just take off his coat and give it to you.
Okay. While I was doing that, I was really measuring the distance to the acid, but I decided not to do anything. I take the coat.
It is a nice coat.
I don't actually have one of these, so this is nice California weather.
I'll go ahead and push him in the acid. Hey, man, like, he's a good dude, man. Don't fucking disrespect him like that. Like, he's my friend. And fuck you, Santa, for not recognizing, like, all the people he saved.
I like to think you still look like the Foundlink at this point.
You still look like him.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I really need to work my system out. I need to find a better checks and balances against people that have been cursed or, well, made evil against their will. But I'll try to do better on that. I'm going to go back and gain my strength, and I hope that you all make it through this. I'll come look for you and make it right later, I promise. Oh, hey, where's I think I have one more gentleman I need to help. And you see him go off to your nightly buddy over there.
Disrespectful, man. Like,
Suddenly the sack has presents again.
yeah,
It doesn't.
man.
Hey, don't worry. I gave you a present, Missing Link. Does that not count?
And you see him just kind of walk over and boop the knight's horse on the nose, and it glows.
Does it go like a little bit?
It does, like, but now the nose glows as well. Yeah, and it just kind of. Don't worry, your horse will find the way to the right castle next time. And then with that, he kind of looks at you, looks at the acid sludge behind him. I think I'm going to fuck off before you kill me. And he just kind of dissipates into snowflakes and disappears.
It's a shame we didn't push him into acid. That would have been a real trip.
That Santa, like, he's changed, man. Like, he wasn't always such an asshole.
Was to me.
Well,
Yeah.
He's like a son of a bitch and shit, man.
Uh-huh.
It's true.
You look good like that, by the way.
Thanks, man. Like, I might keep it for a bit.
I don't know. This whole Santa thing was pretty polarizing.
Meanwhile, like the possum sitting next to you, Surgeon Spectre, is like looking at the two of them, and he sees them share that moment. And you see the little possum take its one burned hand, and another hand is like.
It knows what's up.
So we have a ferret, a possum, and a squirrel. They're all just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
The ferret's gone.
Oh, it went down with the
Frog.
Yeah. It's the frog eater.
You see this? You see the squirrel shed a single tear for his fallen comrade.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. It's a really stupid joke, and I don't want to do it now.
That's
too
the
late.
best reason.
You started, you can't
Yeah.
stop.
Please
So-
do.
I and my possum would like to roll to play Ace of Base to see if we can neutralize the acidic river.
The sonic waves hit the water, warping reality through the pure, positive energy of Ace of Base, disrupting the Chaos Realm.
Because a base would neutralize the acid.
It's like
Yeah.
Secret. It's pH balance for a woman,
Yeah.
but strong enough for the water.
Am I allowed to do that?
You know what? Sure. It's going to be a 50-50. Just
Okay.
strength of will. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
Okay. No.
You make the acid angry. It doesn't make sense how acid could get angry, but it's not an Ace of Base fan. Somewhere from beneath the depths, like a bubbling crude, like a bubble pops, and you hear "Free Bird." It doesn't make any sense, but
It's because I didn't play. I saw the sign. It's because I played All That She Wants,
yeah.
and no one's happy about that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the swamp would love to eat a baby, but it hates that song.
Okay. I tried.
No, that's fair.
All
That's,
that she wants is a little bassy.
oh God.
You hurt Jeremy. Oh no.
That's okay. So between you made a successful, like, you have the power that lets you like see into the spirit realm, so to speak. You had succeeded at that in the previous session. So you know now that you freed these people, which for better or worse, you now have like 5 regular ass people with you. And they're out of the little thing. So it's kind of up to you. Like you can escort them and keep them safe, or you can just leave them here in the swamp. That's up to you. And you know how to get to Ariok's throne room. But I suppose the main thing is like, what do you want to do with these people?
Boy, I feel like we got to take them with us, or there wouldn't have been much point in saving them. We could have just let them piss in the acid, for that matter.
That's fair.
I say that
All right.
not knowing how we're going to get it done, but
I
got a portal gun now.
You have a portal gun now. You do. Give it a go.
So maybe we can get to the other side of the acid.
Yeah.
It's 50, so
Turns out Santa's portal gun, pretty badass. Does the job. And yeah, as Shortcut is known to do, he says, wait a minute. Terrible hazards? I'm going to ignore that nonsense. Whoop, whoop, whoop. everybody just portals on through back over to the edge of where like the castle had sort of like there's the dilapidated edge of the castle that led into the swamp. You all just portal right back on over to there. Everything's cool. You enter back into the hallway where there's like now a missing painting. And like I would like to assume that somewhere like now, like there's just like a weird shadow imprint of what used to be the painting, but now it's all the dogs still kind of doing that same thing. And the general mood in that hallway seems friendly, or as close to friendly as you can get. It feels different in that hallway at this point in time.
Tolerable seeming.
Yeah, it feels tolerable in that particular hallway. Not the general ominous vibe that you had before. And you know a path that you can work your way back to the throne room without having to get into any further encounters because you've already kind of cleared the way in the previous session. So I suppose the question is, are you going to bring the people with you, or are you going to try and find a safe spot to hide them? Because
is anywhere safe?
Probably not.
I mean, it's just me speaking personally. Maybe we should just leave them like right behind where we go.
Fair enough. Like just tell them that you'll yell if you get something up and going, that you'll yell out to them.
Yeah, like stay a room behind us.
That sounds fair.
You might get screwed anyways.
It's true.
But this is hell. That's kind of what happens.
It is what happens. I mean, in fairness. 13 of those. I'm just making a couple notes.
I can always, like clairvoyance them or something so I can keep an eye on them while we're dealing with things to make sure that, something else isn't going on.
So as you approach, like you kind of get to the big, like there's the big, like sort of a big hall, like a meeting area before you get to the throne room. And as you enter into that area, you do feel that the energy in that area has changed. And a lot of your companions that previously had been able to kind of have like an unending period on them, they do. How do you think your summons kind of dissipate after a time period normally goes away? Do they just kind of like dust away, or
I kind of hope they make a fart sound and disappear.
Just go.
But that's not my choice.
Okay. I will take Jen's shoulder shrug as an acknowledgement of the poof. But yeah, so they kind of poof away. You do overall feel like kind of as they do the whole thing. Maybe it's like the end of Avengers, like they're kind of like turning to dust, so to speak.
Oh no!
The bat snorts them.
Possum
Just as the possum is like trying to give you a thumbs up.
I snort from the thumb.
The possum looks at me and says, Mr. Spectre, I don't feel so good.
And the bat has the vocoder on and is like, but you smell so good.
Oh no.
The possum's just like, I'm just messing with. Oh no.
Oh no.
I see your milkshake and I sniff it up.
Oh my God. Stop snorting. Stop snorting my creations.
Oh man.
They probably make them stronger.
It might.
For like
Who
30
knows?
minutes or so.
So yeah,
And
as
then it
you
probably goes really bad.
who wants to open the doors to the throne room?
I'll open the door to the throne room.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of the forces of darkness.
Hell no. Why would you be? You kind of kick open the door, and as you do, there's like this wave of energy, and you just feel kind of stripped down to your bare essence. You feel depleted to some extent as you cross the threshold. And as you look within, you kind of have this, it's obviously the sort of thing that would happen in a chaos realm. You see like a giant throne at the far end. You see, I always get I can never say it right. It always feels weird. An orrery. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like those things where you have like the giant kind of like constellation system that's spinning, except it's way beyond what you would look at for like an Earth solar system. This thing is massive and spreads across the width of like 50 feet. And it just looks like if there could be an orrery for like multiversal nonsense, just constantly spinning and gyrating all over the room. And it's taking up a huge section of the space. The ceiling seems to stretch on impossibly high. God bless it, friend. I can't.
So, just have we all turned into the missing link? Is that what I'm gathering?
I'm the found link, man.
No.
Like they
Yes.
like meaning they still have powers.
Or we don't have powers.
Yeah, right now, Dr. Karloff, you don't have powers. As you open the doorway, you don't have powers. And then the wave of energy washes across everybody. At the moment, nobody has powers.
No, now we're the sucktaculars.
Do I like turn back into my like wild ass original alien form?
Yeah, probably.
Like fucking tentacles everywhere.
Yeah, what do you look like? Chuck, tell us what you look like. Maybe this is the first time we've seen you.
You know the one baby that gets shot out of the car in Men in Black 2? Or Men in Black 1?
Yes.
I look like that, just
Will
with
Smith
a
catches.
bigger dick.
On that note, I have to use the restroom. I just laughed too hard.
Okay. Oh.
I look like a space baby with a bigger dick.
You're welcome.
Oh my
Do
God.
you still spit up like you did back then?
Just not from my mouth.
Oh man.
That's Men in Black.
Skeet. You're welcome, Dan. You're welcome.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well.
You shot Will Smith.
Oh my God. Yeah. So since we know that Dr. Karloff was going first, what do we think? I know we don't typically do marching order, so to speak, but in general, kind of like what order do you think you guys were kind of approaching? Were you going like one by one, shoulder to shoulder? You can probably fit a couple people in at a time. But if we had to get a rough estimate of like order entering, what do you think it would be?
Missing links usually at the front.
Okay.
So
you're right behind Dr. Karloff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not normally a fighter already, so put me somewhere in the middle to back.
All right. And so we'll say, Dr. Karloff, your initial vision is kind of drawn to the orrery. Missing link, you're approaching the threshold and you kind of see up in the sky, like you've got the orrery of the multiverse basically. And then up ahead, like the ceiling of the throne room looks like a painting of the cosmos, except it kind of swirls and moves in real time. And it feels like it might be a living thing. And it seems to kind of stretch its lengths and depths in a way that doesn't adhere to, actual dimensions of a room.
So it feels like kind of almost like a vertigo moment, sort of. Like
Yes, it's really disorienting.
Okay.
And then up in that area, you see all these giant kind of like a deep purple crystal sort of constellation. You see probably like 13 of them just at various different areas up floating in the sky above. And they seem to form like some weird constellation up above the orrery. Okay. And then you just see this tall figure turn around as if he was like busy working at something. He's standing next to one of the areas in the orrery, like looking through some sort of viewing glass sort of thing, and just turns around, and his proportions seem to kind of be inconsistent. As he's standing next to it, he looks like he's human height, but then he turns around, kind of like does a sweep of his cape and stands, and all of a sudden he looks like he's closer to 20 feet tall. And just this giant grin comes on his face, wild, happy eyes, shocks of hair that kind of like alters color from moment to moment. You made it. I'm so happy you're here. Please come in. I do insist.
That's my natural alien tentacle speak.
Oh my god, I haven't seen one of your kind in forever.
I
That's
may be a bat,
amazing.
but I'm not stupid. What's your deal, buddy?
I just want you to come on in and play with me. Let's have, you know what? What a terrible guest I am. I'm going to set out some food for you. And you need to be welcome. You made it into the depths of my castle. I'm going to call on the choir. And he calls on the choir, and you just see like the wall shift and turn around. And there's a couple hundred, they look like what you would think of as stereotypical elves, but kind of like pale features, like bordering on albino. And all of them have their throats cut at slightly different angles so that they can all scream at a different pitch. And so a couple hundred elves start screaming blood-curdling screams, and it's kind of done in this horrible way that it creates like sort of a symphony, and yet it works.
It's like Bone Tomahawk.
It's a symphony of pain.
And you see him kind of do that, but you see him like fidget with like some sort of, invisible knob that's not really there, and the volume kind of gets tuned down. So the symphony isn't overwhelming, but it's just kind of like some nice background. Yeah, he just sets like a nice little background noise for the Symphony of Pain. You see him kind of like snap his fingers, and a little tray of finger foods and stuff comes out in front of you. Look, I'm terribly sorry you've had such a bad experience, and I'm sure that my old friend Baphomet's filled your head with all sorts of nonsense. But come on, we can be friends. There's so much fun to be had. I'm being rude again. What do you want?
Is that a ship and a bottle you're building?
Yes. Do you do this too?
Nah, I'm not very good at it.
We have nothing but time
shaky
here.
Hands. Shaky hands.
As you come into the room, Barry, you feel a pressing pain, like squeezing your innards. As you can tell, you're kind of currently a vessel of sorts for Baphomet. Now, here's the thing. I'm happy to give all of you whatever you need. I just need to kill him and suck out his innards. It's nothing personal. I'll even make a copy of him. You'll hardly know the difference.
Hey, his insides are kind of important, aren't they?
They really hurt right now, too.
I mean, just hypothetically, let me throw this out there. Little alien buddy, would you like an even bigger dick? I can do that for you.
In Alienese, I am going to say, no one hurts my friend.
Can you give that to us in Alien, Chuck? Okay, that's what I was looking for.
He said, you're the biggest dick here.
And then
But,
I'm going
in a
to
funny way.
leap forward and try to strangle him with my dicticle.
Get him before he metastasizes inside of our friend.
I like that Jen's muted, but thoroughly objecting.
You tentacle
Shoot his
slap
dog,
him
stranger.
all across the face. And he just lets you do it. He just kind of takes it. This is good. I love it. He even kind of like sticks his tongue out a couple of times. This is delightful. But yeah, I'm sorry. You have to understand. I'm a demon lord. I'm a god. You're not going to do anything to me. So you can either be tortured terribly or just one of you. All it needs to be, I'll make you a deal. Just one of you sacrifice a friend. Say, I sacrifice him. And then just make the gesture and we're fine.
I've got a gesture for you, buddy. Bat? I am a bat. And what do you think about that? And he dive bombs into this tall, ever-changing figure of cyclopean fucking nightmarishness, and just tries to ram him straight in the ass.
For that, he'll just make himself incorporeal.
Okay.
And you get the feeling. What I'll do is I'll tap into our occultist, who does have rather significant knowledge of such things. You're pretty sure that this thing, if it is what's been described, would have a trait in the system called divinity, where can't be damaged by standard attacks. It would take some sort of special scenario to do so. You can also pretty easily tell, like, that there's a lot of energy charged up in those crystals up above. And if you're willing to make a roll, there might be a little bit more that you get.
Oh, I've got it figured out.
I am willing to make a roll. But a roll in what?
Whatever you think might help you kind of assess the situation, or maybe something that would give you insight into the occult. That's, you kind of get that for free just for being what you are.
In this case, it would either be anything else or potentially size someone up.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, in that case, I'll try to size up this chaos demon by examining his surroundings.
Sure. Kind of get a feel for what he's doing.
Yeah. 8 under 80.
You do, and you realize, like, those crystals, A, are clearly like harnessing some serious supernatural mojo, and B, you're looking at that and comparing it to the Ori, and you're thinking that he probably uses those as sort of like, almost like, trying to think of the term for it. You put in a code for which plane to focus on. You're pretty sure if you arrange those in the right order, it could focus through this Ori to your own plane, if you so desired. You're also pretty sure you could use them as weapons against him, but if you need probably at least, you rolled what, an 8? You rolled really well. There are 13 there. You're going to need at least 7 aligned just right to get you home. But yeah, between a couple of attacks on the guy, you start sizing up the room. He picks up on you picking things up, and then we probably will go into pulling up the initiative deck. Because he's all fine with just kind of being like a, weird dick until he thinks you guys might actually have an idea of what to do.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I hate when weird dicks don't know what to do.
So we have, first up, our tactician is set to go first. And then we've got a complication, a couple villain actions, leader, villain, controller, villain, tank striker, villain, booster, villain. So it's kind of spread out quite a bit. And to basically spell it out in a meta sense, this scene has an objective, so to speak, where you need to get 7 ticks, so to speak, of aligning the crystals as far as the objective of trying to get this thing lined up. If you want to send yourselves home, you can potentially kill this dude off, or try to get Baphomet to send you home. Or you could potentially just align those things by yourself and get yourself home of your own accord.
I happen to like the Bapho meta narrative of aligning these crystals.
So I go first, right? Unless anybody needs to use their powers and move.
Yeah, you guys do have crazy initiative.
Do we have our power still, or is it just the?
Oh, that's right. No,
initiative
at this point,
cards.
Sorry, I'm so used to I'm so used to all the time having crazy nonsense stuff.
Are we still able to use our team roll stuff still?
You guys can still use whatever gift that you got from Santa at this point in time, and then events will transpire over the course of this due to previous deals that you've made. So you know that Baphomet made some sort of deal with you. You're not sure exactly how his power is going to manifest, but he's done something with Missing Link. So yeah, tactician goes first.
Okay, so I would like to use Shadow Sight.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use that, or is that part of my power that's gone?
I think that's just an innate part of you.
Okay.
It's not something like you just innately are an undead thing that sees the reality of stuff.
Okay.
So I'll give that because that's just a latent part of your being. I'll let you keep that. It's not one of your actual powers.
Okay. So I'm using Shadow Sight to try and understand maybe more about these crystals, maybe which one comes first potentially.
Sure. Yeah. See if you can kind of get a feel for how to align them.
Yeah. I got a 16. I did it.
You do and you do. And then let me roll. And you got 1 pip on the advantage dice.
Oh.
So you get 1 pip knocked off on the objective, which gives you a hero point. And then you can pass on some bonus dice to whoever goes next.
Okay.
Can't talk good all of a sudden.
So do I know which one comes which of the crystals goes first?
Yeah, in fact, that's probably the best way to use your power. Like Dr. Karloff knows what they do and kind of knows how that you need to arrange them. But Dr. Karloff didn't necessarily know where to put them. Just because you know if you enter the right code, you can go back to your own world, doesn't mean you know what the code is.
Okay.
But you're able to look at it and you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure if we align, you see.
It's just a raccoon with all the math symbols.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the crazy math symbol. And
Yeah.
somehow Surgeon Spectre looks at it and using that true sight ability, you're like, okay, I know the alignment we need to put these in. We still have to somehow get ourselves up into the air basically and do it, but you know the arrangement they need to go in. So that's your first pip on taking care of that objective.
Okay.
Next up is the complication in the situation. And so that's basically that pain in your chest, missing link, becomes overwhelming. And there's just sears of wretched pain.
Heartburn?
Yeah.
Heartbreak?
And you feel that your insides it feels like you're on fire, like you're burning away until you're basically a husk. And you guys all see Barry, his eyes just roll back in his head, and he slumps to the ground. And that's it for now. Just, he looks really bad. And just, Barry's out. No big deal. Next up, the villain will... What would be fun for him? Who's the first person to hit him? I think it was...
I did try to choke him with my dictical.
And I did try to
choke him with the dictical.
Uh-huh.
Would you say that you're still kind of in the process of trying to do that as all of this is going on?
I am.
And he's going to use...
Trying to show him my calamari ring.
At one point, you see him try to use the twisting nature of this room and his own innate sorcery to kind of use illusions. Kind of as you're in the middle of struggling with, trying to get your dictical into his mouth. At one point, he tries to use the power of illusion to trick you into turning it around and missing and try to make you gag yourself. But he fails. You know your dictical better than the Lord of Hell.
I do.
No Lord of Hell is going to trick you into doing that unless you want to do it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I mean, I wouldn't abdicate to him either that way.
Mm-hmm.
You two on this one? You two on this one? Okay. All right. Okay. I see how it is. I see what tonight is.
Dick pun.
Okay, then next up, he will go with... The other person that hit him was Catastrophe, correct?
Yes.
You see him fail utterly trying to mess with the mysterious stranger, and he just turns to you. Do you think it's more likely that you or your bat would have laughed at him?
I think the bat is really enjoying having the vocoder. It's like, oh my god, that was terrible.
Okay, he will turn around, and this one he can only do it the one time in the round, but he just turns around.
I'm gonna check that non-human formed box to add two challenge dice.
He's not doing any damage. He's using an ability called Banishment.
Okay, fair.
As an action, the villain chooses one hero and banishes them, removing them from the scene. Remove their initiative card from the deck, and then he's
delete your character. Do not pass go. Don't come to the next session.
They come back the next round.
Okay.
Basically, once per round, he can just point at somebody and say, "Yeah, I don't like the tone of your voice."
That's fair.
And your bat's gone until your card next turn.
Oh wow!
So you're still here because he only banished your bat.
Okay.
But when your turn comes up, you won't have your bat with you. Your bat will like pop back from banishment next turn.
My emotions have really been battered by this.
He's kind of a jerk. I don't know what his problem is. Next up is our leader.
Oh my gosh. I am going to untangle my noodly appendage and realize that Surgeon Spectre might be on the right path with trying to align crystals and shit. But then I realize that that's a dumb idea, so I pull out the gun that Santa gave me and I try to shoot this demon's eye out.
Of course. Santa gun rolls at 80%.
All right.
What kind of gun is it?
It's a fully automatic Red Ryder BB gun.
Hell yeah. Just
you'll shoot your eye out with that.
If I do this right, I'll be shooting his eye out.
I mean,
I got a 59.
Oh man. You skeet 59 BBs into his eye. Shoot 59 BBs into his eye.
It's like I can't. I'm an alien. Which in alien translation is I skeet, 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 goddamn, right in your eyeball with a gun.
Send it.
That's just rude.
Don't skeet, skeet, skeet that thing at me. Don't skeet.
We're so incredibly appropriate. Okay, so as you pull out the Santa gun, and actually, the Santa gun actually is able to damage him. And he was not expecting that. He's very unhappy. So he will kind of reach out two hands. All right, then. I'd like to introduce you to my daughters, Aina, Una. Let's show our friends some help. And you see these two swords just kind of emerge from the ethos. One is completely black and has red runes in it. The other one is completely white with red runes into it. And they just both seem to kind of fly of their own accord towards you and kind of in a whirling dance come forward to try and chop you up.
Who is this to?
To you, as you just shot him in the eye.
He's going to turn me into calamari rings.
Does 55.
We'll all enjoy you, though.
I don't blame you. I'm tasty.
And so, yeah, they slice and dice you for 55 points.
Fuck. I don't have any of my abilities to make that not hurt.
And you feel like one of them is actually trying to actively drain you of your personal energy.
Which translates to, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, you son of a bitch, man. Like, that's not cool.
All right. Next up is our controller, which I believe is Dr. Karloff. Is that right?
That's right. But man, oh man. Man, oh man. I'm going to check on Barry. I don't know what I would do to check on Barry. I'll size him up. I'll see how he's doing. 47 under 80.
You get the feeling that he's been hollowed. Probably it reminds you of voodoo rituals where they talk about like where you ride the loa, where you basically empty yourself so that some other entity can basically use you as a vessel. So it looks like he's alive, but only technically. He's basically been hollowed out so that some greater power can use him as a scion or an avatar. But I'll let you still make an action. Like that's your professional thing, is to kind of like look at weird supernatural nonsense.
Well, I mean, beyond that, I'll just try to smack his cheeks a little bit and try to get whatever's riding him to wake the hell up.
Okay. All right, you do.
I mean, I don't know if I would need a roll for that, but charm someone, I suppose.
I suppose he's kind of out of it. I'll still let you roll a 50-50 shot to see if you can kind of help.
Yeah. I'll spend my hero point to make that a pass.
Okay. So because you do that, Barry is just barely, he hasn't been completely taken over by whatever's going on, and he's just barely lucid, which may be a good thing when his turn comes up.
I'll tell him he needs to get out of this room and get his wits about him.
Y'all need to just sacrifice me and go, really.
And he's basically, as you're doing that, that draws the attention of Ariok, whose eyes kind of get wider, kind of sort of realizing what may be about to come. And he decides that he should probably nuke the potential vessel for a higher power that's now in his room. So he just shoots a big old nasty firebolt in the direction of Missing Link. And misses. I don't know how. Maybe it's Dr. Karloff's assistant. Like you're just barely lucid, Barry. Like, and you just sort of push yourself up, and Dr. Karloff yanks you out of the way just at times this beam of fire.
I know what I do. No, I'll save that for later. I've got a great idea that could be used.
Perfect. Yeah, but your assistance is enough to kind of yank him out of the way as this beam of fire is wide around as like a basketball, just sears across the floor, but you drag your friend to safety and nothing terrible happens to him. Next up is our tank, sadly down a bat for this round.
I don't take kindly to people that mess with my bat, so what I'm going to try to do is scurry up anything I can to get close to those crystals and give a jumpin' to that first one with my claws out first.
Okay.
If that's possible. I don't know if there's enough stuff to scurry up.
You've got, like I mentioned, that there's that huge crazy orrery that just goes expanding all over the room.
So I'm trying to jump all around that thing nimbly-pimbly like a cat from Tree to Tree?
Yes.
All right. 22.
Wow. So not only do you succeed, but you got 2 pips on the boon die, because that just worked perfectly. You're a cat jumping onto things to try and knock them out of place. Like it's what cats do perfectly. So not only do you get up there, but you actually managed to knock 2 of them into place. You knocked off 2 more pips. So you're now at 3 out of 7.
9 lives, 3 pips. Your turn, fellas.
So yeah, that was excellent. And next up is the striker. This is Barry. So it's helpful that Dr. Karloff kind of brought you to your senses, because otherwise you would have just been taken over. And I wasn't just going to remove you from the fight completely. There would have been some fun stuff to happen, but
sure.
Dr. Karloff has brought you to your senses so that you are aware of what's happening. You feel it's Baphomet himself trying to burn away your insides and basically turn you into something more like him. He's basically trying to make you his scion, so to speak. But as that's happening, and you feel that this is a lot worse than you anticipated, and you're pretty sure you would lose a significant portion of yourself. But because you're aware of that, you can feel like this horrid fire coming from within you, but you can also feel like this strange cooling effect from the jacket that's surrounding you. And because you are lucid, thanks to Dr. Karloff's actions, you feel that you have been made hollow. You have been made some sort of vessel for a higher power. But you realize there are two different powers available to you, and you could choose which one to funnel. So you feel the crazy hellfire bursting forth. You could choose to become the son of the beast, or you could choose to basically be some strange scion of Yuletide. It's up to you.
Okay.
Can Yuletide be like the University of Alabama, like Roll Tide, like Yuletide?
Oh god.
I have an idea that I want to put forward. Ghost Rider, but with Santa's sleigh.
I like it.
But what I will say is whatever choice you make will potentially impact like a change in your power set moving forward.
Okay.
But yeah, I welcome you to choose whatever you want.
Okay.
Both are totally viable.
So like the secondary power is I'm like bringing Santa's power into me in some way. Is that what you're saying? Like I'm like giving myself over to the coat.
Exactly. You feel like what was intended was for you to be emptied out as a vessel for Baphomet, but you realize because you're lucid, you have the chance to choose. You could instead choose to pull in the power from Santa's coat instead and have that fill you, so to speak.
So I'll start getting up next to Karloff and I'll like put the hammer down and kind of pull myself up. And as I'm doing, I'm just gonna be like, ho, ho. And then as I stand up, I'll just like yell, ho, and expect like some Dragon Ball Z moment to happen where the power overtakes me.
This is how you go Super Saiyan 3.
Super Santa.
Yeah. So is that what you got?
I'm just screaming ho ho ho, and like that's sign for giving over to Santa's Yuletide power.
Excellent. You do, and almost immediately, like the pale white scruff starts to form. And then, what do you think your form changes as you become Super Santa?
Yeah, I think I mean, like, I was always a fairly scrawny guy, so I feel like I get a little bit portlier for sure. I start gaining some weight a bit. Definitely rosy cheeks. I feel like all of that begins to happen, but like instead of like a full beard, it's just like mutton chops. It's just big white mutton chops that are kind of hanging down with just the chin is still showing. It's still skin.
Oh, show that skin, baby. Yeah.
Wonderful. So you're bursting with power at the moment. Things will probably scale back later in time, but for the moment, for the duration of this encounter, you have one skill.
Okay.
And it is a 90% skill of whatever the fuck you imagine Santa Claus could pull off.
Okay. All right.
What would you like to do with your 90%, whatever the fuck Santa can pull off?
Okay. So I don't want to do that. That would probably make Jen disconnect.
Were you gonna go up his chimney? Because that's what I was just saying.
I was gonna ring his fit in any place.
I was gonna ring his bells.
I was just about to say that too.
Jingle them.
Yeah.
Jingle those bells.
Dangle bells.
So okay, so I'll avoid that. So what I'll say is, I will like. Oh man, putting me on the spot. All right, I think
his mistletoe.
So I think what I'll start doing is I'll just kind of reaching into like we'll say there's like an inner coat pocket, and just one by one I'm just pulling out these huge lumps of coal, and each one I pull out I just start firing like rapid fire one or the other at the big guy as best I can, just one after the other. And it's just king, 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 king.
Should throw the brick at him. The brick.
I feel this is really starting to coalesce.
Nice.
So there's these giant blocks of coal that just don't make sense the size as I'm pulling them out of the coat itself. All right. So let me roll that. 85. That would be a success.
That is a success. You do 85 points of coal damage to him.
Now, do I still have access to my striker abilities?
Yes.
Okay.
And
so-
actually, as this happens, as he channels the essence through him, the effect in the room that was dampening all the powers. So as he yells, ho, 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 just this wave of energy cascades off. Cole shoots out, and then all of you feel your own powers returning as he's kind of broken whatever disenchantment was set in this room.
And I'm gonna burn my hero points, do an additional 160 points to him of damage.
My goodness.
Whew. Okay. That is a lot.
It's a super saiyan. So that's like 245, I think, total.
Yeah. He is very surprised because he's used to not taking damage from mortals. Oh, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. No, you are not Santa. I call bullshit.
I'll just look up at him and I'll say, ho, 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 you son of a bitch. And I'll I'll knock another piece
Just
of
one
coal towards him.
more.
Yeah, just one more right between his eyes.
Perfect. Yeah, now he's just got like that, like almost like which one in Home Alone is the dude who gets shot in the head? He's got that perfect ding in the forehead now.
Is that Daniel Stern?
Oh.
I hope not. I don't
That's
have anything
close.
cool to do.
So I'm going to say you're the first person to take him over 100 points of damage. In your, you've like the little truth section on your sheet. You've just earned Vengeance of Ariok. He's going to remember that. He will hold a special place in his heart, full of hate, just for you.
Feelings mutual.
All right. And so following that, it's his turn again. And I think he's just going to send his swords over in your direction. Like he just kind of he leaves a little bit of like the playfulness and just goes straight to trying to actually hurt you. But he can only get in 12 points of damage. Like you're battering him with all the coal and he does direct the swords over and they nick at you. But they only do 12 points of damage.
You took some damage earlier,
They
didn't you,
saint
Jeff?
nick at
I
him.
did.
Yes.
I'm okay though.
Ooh.
I'm still
Okay.
above 50.
Okay, all right. I'll save the tank stuff then. Okay.
Yeah, thank you though. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And then after that, we have our booster.
I know. Who wishes he could do two things at once right now? Mostly
All right.
just I wanted to open a portal and then shoot him through it
Okay.
because I have a magical shotgun still from way back when.
Yes,
Like-
you do. You have, what was it, 4 shots?
Yeah, I do.
Like he had like 4 eldritch blasts, so to speak, lined up for you.
Yeah. So
Both of those are totally valid.
I know. I wanted to be able to like shoot the portal and then shoot him through the portal.
That's really awesome. If you want to do that, that's a great flavor description.
If you'll let me do that, because it's kind of on the BS scale.
No, man, because what I'll say is like it's the same way that Dr. Karloff can use teleporting for attacking. It's not the teleporting that's doing the damage, but he's flavoring his attack by saying, I teleport behind him and I hit him where they're not expecting,
All right. Yeah, I figure like portal gun in one hand and magic shotgun in the other. Portal, shotgun, boom.
Hell yeah, that's exactly the sort of cheesy bullshit that I want to encourage. I love it.
I don't know what the shotgun rules for though.
Well, because you're using your portal to enable it to kind of catch them off guard, you're just like, instead of like having to aim with the shotgun far away, you're just creating a portal and just shooting into the portal and then using the other portal to just have it open up where he is. So you're using the portal to negate having to aim.
I'm lazy.
Here's a fun idea.
Shortcut style.
He pulls out the portal gun and aims it at him, shoots it at him, knowing full well that he's just going to go incorporeal as the portal phases through him onto the wall behind him.
Yes.
He then shoots another portal onto the ground, aims the shotgun down, which is now aimed through the portal behind him. Bang.
That's some extra spice there.
All right, I'm rolling four of these advantage dice with that because that's beautiful, just beautiful. how it goes, Dan.
What? I don't know what this means.
Oh, well, you got to roll your portal skill.
Okay. All right. That's a success. So
It is success. And you got, off of 4 advantage dice, you got 1 pip to come up.
this is where I do the booster thing and
You
force
could
some
if you
more
want.
successes. Yeah, might as well.
So-
It could be fun.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
So what happens? What do you have your character sheet up?
I do.
Look what happens whenever you get the your splash page.
Spotlight, you mean, or
Spotlight, yes.
minimum damage on a hit is 50.
Mm-hmm.
Start your turn with 0 hit points, get 2 hero points, and add a spotlight card to the initiative. So it's not too significant.
Well, what I'm going to do is I had an extra card in there that was listed as minor villain just in case something came up. I'll use that as your special one. So basically for the rest of the scene, you're going to have a bonus initiative card, basically.
Nice.
Along with the other stuff. And that, do you want to put all of your points into damage, or do you want to put some of those pips into dealing with the complication up above?
I think I'd like to pay 1 forward if that's possible.
Okay, so that's 1 out of 4 paid forward.
Let's take 2 of them for the complication and 1 of them for damage.
Okay, cool. So the 2 towards the complication gets you up to 4 out of 7 on the complication for taking care of the alignment. And then another 1 for damage. He is well over 300 points of damage deep. He's really surprised. What? No. Just very upset by all this. I'm going to come back to you when I'm going to find that little fat fucker who gave you these stupid gifts. I'm going to murder him, and then after I've murdered him, I'm going to find you, you little faux fat fucking. I'll kill you too, and I'll eat your teeth or something. Ah!
Jeremy came through on that one.
Yeah, maybe. All right, and then he still has 1 more attack. Good God, this guy gets a lot of moves. Yeah, you know what he'll do? He's angry enough at that nonsense. He's gonna take one of the shards and just like use his own power to just fling a shard at you, knockoff.
Uh-oh.
And we'll do 32 plus. All right, so it's going to end up doing 52 damage to you.
I'm okay,
and
though.
You'll, for the next round of actions, you'll roll 2 chaos dice with anything you do. As this thing just gets flung at you, it's just pure concentrated magic in crystal form that hits you, explodes, does a ton of damage, and is messy. It's like you feel your system kind of altered as it hits you.
Some good old-fashioned higurk.
Yeah. All right, and that's the end of the round. He's hurt really bad. You're almost done with all of your objective. Let me try and shuffle it. All right. I may need to ask, for some reason, Jeff, sometimes it doesn't let me do the shuffle. I might need to ask for your help on that. There we go.
It should be good. I got complication, villain, booster, striker, that order.
Awesome. There we go. All right, so now this time around, people do have their powers back. So if anybody wants to do any initiative nonsense, as you're prone to do, welcome to it.
Yes. No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, the complication is out. The bad guy is going to. So Ariok gets to go again. It's a new round. He will. Meeny, miny, mo. Probably. Actually, you know, I'll just roll a d6. And then I'll go by how I see you guys.
Who's unlucky today?
Yeah, who's unlucky? So he rolled a 6. It kind of makes sense. You know, he surveys the room, looks at who he'll banish this round, and right off the bat just looks at, I'm not sure what we call missing link at this point in time, but Santa Link.
We'll workshop it.
Jingle Link.
Jingle Link. All right. You are going in timeout, young man. Right after he screams at you something about eating your teeth, and then he just points at you and says you're in timeout and banishes you for a round.
Okay. Sorry. Claws.
So that's his turn. And then the booster, you're up again.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. Let's do something else stupid since I've used technically portals already. I might do some illusions here.
Okay.
And make some illusions of us.
All right.
Just to kind of complicate the scene a little bit.
Basically make his attempts to attack you more difficult because you've made illusions of yourselves. Yeah. Totally viable. I like it.
And we'll make them long lasting. So. Oof. Or not. So.
You try, but you get the feeling this guy also has illusion powers. He kind of knows that game. He steps back away from losing his temper for a little bit, sees you trying to cast illusions. I'm terribly sorry. I know this game too well, but thank you for trying. That really makes my day. You know what? What is it shortcut or knockoff? Which one do you like better?
Neither's fine.
I'm going to kill you last.
Great.
I lied.
I lied.
I'm not saying that I would. Yes, okay. I would totally rip that off. All right, and then right after you, the striker would go, but he's been banished, unfortunately. So then he goes again. You've already done your portal thing. He might turn back to... I mean, probably you're the most recent one to do stuff. No, he just said you'd be the last one. So he's going to turn back to Mysterious Stranger.
Rude. Oh,
yeah.
I can talk again, can't I? Since I can shapeshift.
Yeah. So he'll send the swords back in your direction and just fail horribly.
Nice.
You know, maybe he was aiming for where the tentacles would have been just as you're kind of reforming back. Oh, come on. Just,
Hey, man, like, fuck you.
What? On another day, maybe, but right now I'm just feeling you're terribly rude.
You know, if it's walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, and you can go fuck yourself, man.
Why, never. So next up is our tactician.
You know, there's a lot of fighting going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff that, Surgeon Spectre isn't necessarily bought into right now.
Yeah.
So I think Surgeon Spectre is going to still keep trying to figure out the crystals so we can go home.
That seems fair. Like, you've got this thing that you can just open a door and go home.
Yeah. So I'm going to
We've
use...
gotten like 3 of them now, haven't we? Or
you
4?
have actually... You've gotten 4 out of the 7 pips done.
I'm going to try. I got a 6.
Wow. Okay. So now we are at 5 out of 7. You at this point, the orrery is kind of like glowing with energy. You can see there's an area on the ceiling that's kind of starting to form like a little vortex because you're that close to having the code entered in, so to speak, through the constellation. You're just about there. But you do realize you're in the midst of fighting like a demon lord guy, and you still have like 5 regular people outside the room.
I would probably send my possum to like go round up the people and like get them ready to rush in whenever this thing.
Unfortunately, your possum gets snorted.
Right. Sorry, I forgot the possum got snorted.
You do have your powers back though, so you could try summoning a new.
I already did my spirit realm thing. I don't think I can do 2 things. So, okay.
But you do, and you do. You've helped push the group towards the big resolution of things. So the goes again. I don't. What are you doing, little vomit? Knock that off. No. You stop messing with my things. As he tries to shoot a firebolt over towards our little raccoon friend. And we'll burn you for 47 points of damage.
No, he won't. The bat swoops in and spends a hero point to take 30 of that away.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Well played, sir. The
bat swoops in, and now that it has a vocal converter, is like,
I still consider you my mother.
That's delightful. That makes me so happy.
Are you proud of me, Ma?
I don't get good grades, but I do this okay.
What's great is this also because he was banished this last round, so you be the whole thing where he just kind of suddenly like bamps back into existence.
100%. He nightcrawlers back in and is like,
not on my watch.
Oh my god.
I still consider you my mother.
Well, I mean, I guess on the villain's next action, he has to like attack your bat then. He'll probably
That's assault and battery.
You know what? No, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking any puns. No puns in my room. No puns on my watch. And he's angry enough, he'll send another crystal shard at your bat and do 96 points of damage.
Bat is down. It has 50 hit points.
Apparently, Ariok really hates puns. Just absolutely hates them. And he just it just sends the shard through the bat, just tears a hole out of its abdomen.
Finally, I have the opportunity to say last words, and I just want to say you were all very rude to me.
All right, our fearless leader. What's next?
The demon's still up, right?
Yeah, he's pissed, but he seems like he probably is the sort of dude that has a lot of fight in him.
Okay, yeah. I am going to turn into child actor Peter Billingsley.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to unload again with my fully auto Red Rider BB gun.
Red Rider BB gun?
Yeah.
Delightful.
Yeah. Shit, that's only 3.
It's all right. Let me roll some advantage dice because you got 2 advantage dice. Now here's the thing. You can put that into 20 more points of damage, or if you can think of a way to justify that somehow you shooting your fully automatic Red Rider BB gun could help with the constellation, you could put it towards that.
Yeah, I slip on some ice.
Uh-huh.
That, might be there, and it ricochets off an icicle.
Uh-huh.
And it hits me in the glasses and doing so, only 3 of my BB pellets hit this asshole, but the rest of them, my gun flies wild and shoots the giant constellation thing, helping the alignment move just a little bit closer.
Perfect. All right, you're now up at 6 out of 7.
All right.
Mark that 3 more points of damage.
Yeah.
For posterity. All right. Did you just in my eye again? I had it with all of you. He'll send the swords back at you. Ben, he'll just barely nick you for 7.
Okay.
And then after that, it is Knockoff's second turn.
So weird getting to have 2 of them.
So you can see that you are 1 crystal alignment away from being able to open the gate. It still will take people an action to go through the gateway, and you do have people outside the room as well.
Do I know where that gateway is going to be?
You don't necessarily know where it'll be in your world. You just know that you're 1 away from
here in this room. Like the gateway.
You get the feeling like there's like a swirling vortex up above the room, and some like light is kind of starting to come down. You get the feeling that there's going to be sort of like a pillar of light that if you enter it, you'll get sucked into the vortex.
Okay. I do kind of want to try and pre-stage some cheating here with my portal gun in this case. And we'll set up a portal by the entry to this area where hopefully the survivors are coming from. And then one right by that gateway, so they can just
avoid all the danger. Once you've got the last crystal in place, they can just hop in and be saved.
Yep.
Perfect. That's wonderful.
So I assume I roll that with the same that I would my portals.
Okay.
78 under 80.
Just barely. It's difficult to do. The energies that are like combining here make it difficult. But man, Sanitech is the shit. It just works. So yeah, all right. That's all nicely set up. And then our controller is next.
I think I'm gonna, seeing that everybody's got everything all underway as far as aligning the crystals go, I'm gonna make sure my Dr. Karloff outfit materializes, and then go collect the others who need to be brought home.
All right. For what's worth, you can see that Knockoff has already set up a portal where all they'll have to do is just hop in it as soon as the last crystal is ready.
Oh, okay. I'll teleport up and I'll try to grab hold of a crystal and bash it into place.
Perfect.
23 under 80.
You do and you do. And so that's you get the last crystal in alignment. The vortex swirls, classic cheesy Marvel movie style, blue energy beam from the sky comes down. Because you were doing like sort of teleporting, nimbly bimbly nonsense while you do this, I would potentially say if you want, you could have positioned yourself to where you're ready to just be portaled up and out of here right now if you want. Or
no, not yet.
Okay. Good deal. So yeah, the portal home is ready. Now it's just a matter of getting home. We are at 12:22, and I've seen a couple yawns, so I'm okay if we kind of narrative out. Do folks think that they would try to fight it out to the end, or is it fair to say that now that you have the portal available, that you're going to try and focus mostly on just escaping?
I support any decision as one of the people who has yawned.
I mean, that didn't mean that poorly. I respect, hey, man, it's after midnight. People get
rolling after midnight.
Now, like, just personally speaking, if I recall, the current demon lord in control here has been accused of basically slacking off, right?
Accuse.
Yeah, so basically, like, what Baphomet told you is that Lucifer just kind of disappeared one day. And that left all the other lords of hell kind of like in a power vacuum situation. And Lord Ariok here is the one who kind of did the whole like, well, it's a good thing Lucifer's gone. Let's make hell great again. And he just kind of went around taking other demon lords' castles and being a major dick.
But he's not been messing with the mortal plane, though, right?
I mean, he does. But it seems like he's been mostly on a kick of like doing like a land grab. Like this power vacuum, he's been running around grabbing as much domain as he can in hell as possible.
So I guess the question is, do we go on our contract we made with peace and then eventual chaos, or just leave it to chaos?
You're not exactly sure how that contract is going to work now that Missing Link chose not to let Baphomet use him as a vessel. There's some question about what will come from that. I mean, who knows? That's kind of something that there's no clear answer on how that's going to play out in the immediate situation.
Yeah, I feel like helping him gain power would maybe be disadvantageous to us.
Just let him keep fighting it out.
Yeah.
Just
then let's make like a tree and get the fuck out of here.
All right.
There is probably not a good thing for us.
So I do want like a little going away shot as I.
Of course, it's because you have to wait until you're back from banishment. Probably everybody else gets a chance to run away before he probably gets in a few cheap shots because he's a dirty bastard. But between your combined skills, you prevent anybody from dying. You get through the portal wounded, somewhat broken on a couple of cases, and then as everybody else is almost getting through, Barry comes back and
so like what I last thing I want to do as I'm turning to hop into the portals, I want to reach into the coat once more and pull out like a little toy like rocking horse, and I'm just gonna like whisper something into it, and then I'm just gonna like let it go, and then this whole herd of like rocking horses just comes and just barrels them over, and I'm just gonna say, "You're on my naughty list," and then hop into the portal.
Wonderful.
That's great.
And with that, with Santa saved and the heroes successfully escaping from the realms of hell, we'll call it for the night and go around, let folks plug any pluggables or say any words that they'd like to share. Jake, anything you want to share with our fine folks at home?
My back is killing me.
I'm sorry.
Internet hug.
Ow.
All right.
Send help.
I love you, buddy. I'm sorry. Dan, sorry.
No, a plug.
No, I don't have anything too exciting. Lots of other people on the channel have some cool stuff coming up. You can find us on a few different channels. So,
all right.
I think probably between Jeff and Chuck and some of them, they can line that out.
Yeah. Jen, one of my favorite people. How about you?
Not a whole lot. There's going to be a zine coming out whenever we put it on Drive-Thru RPG, but it's ready to go. So keep an eye out for that in the very near term.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then our big bucket of smolder, Friendin.
I believe you mean molder.
I mean, I didn't want to call you out, but yeah. Dude's got stuff between his toes.
It's true. It's fungus among us, much like my stream, which you can check out. It's twitch.tv/Friendin. And I do it with my partner in life and design crime, Gentendo, often making Pokemon stuff and monsters and shit because we're goofy like that. So check us out. That zine's coming out. A lot of great articles written by folks right here on your screen, laid out, drawn, edited by folks here. All of it fucking dope people making cool shit. So check that zine out soon. That's basically it.
Awesome. Chuck, how do you feel that you got to skeet a Demon Lord in the eye?
I love it. I got to talk about eating Santa's ass tonight. I got to reach for a sack. I got to wrap my noodly dicticle around a demon's neck. And then I gotta skeet shoot a demon in the eye. It was a eventful night.
Yeah. So outside of plugging demons, what else do you want to plug?
We ain't got shit else this week. Saturday night, Goodman Games Official will be continuing the Music of the Spheres is Chaos, a yet to be released DCC adventure. It's DCC 100, due to be out on the Goodman Games store in mid 2021. And I think Sunday night we're doing a makeup session for Notorious DMG's Shadowrun, because last Sunday my internet shat itself real hard, and we didn't get to play that. So that's what we got.
Excellent. Very nice. And Jeff, man, I strongly considered taking vengeance on you, but I just, the power of Christmas took over me and made me consider otherwise. What do you want to share with us?
I was all ready to just speak the words and sacrifice myself if the fight went bad. So I was all gonna I was ready. It's all good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we don't got anything going on this week on the Lollygaggers channel, so twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. Then our next game's Monday. You can come watch us play Alien, where
we're gonna meet Chet.
We get to meet Jeremy's new character, Chet, because I killed his last character.
It's okay.
And,
I deserved it. I really deserved it.
And I think the cool thing is that everybody else on the show is probably going to kill your new character, so I don't even have to do it.
I'm going to keep asking him to check stuff out in the airlocks and try and vent them.
Exactly.
Perfect. That's wonderful.
I'm the captain now.
That's true.
Oh, God. God help us. That's a terrible idea. But, man, thank you to everybody who stuck with us. And, I hope you enjoyed our special brand of very appropriate nonsense. I suppose. Oh, wait, I have something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Plutcast. PLEWD. Plutcast. Comic books. Nonsense. I do it. But, we love y'all. Hope you have a safe and happy holiday. Peace out.
Oh, I need to sign off, don't I?
Yeah, we can just make funny faces at you while he does that.
Bye.
Goodbye.